Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is another in our ongoing Umber series. It's called Green Umber Trees. Is that nice? And green umber featured very much so in this painting. Love that color. It's just a great alternative to straight up umber. It acts like regular umber, except you know it's going to be greenish. Whereas regular umber kind of straddles that spot between green and red. It really does. It's a very contextual color and also extremely transparent. So, and umber is a fun word. Umber. Umber. It's very meditative, eh? Yeah, I'm on an umber kick, so we're going to keep going for a while. Hopefully you're digging these videos and getting some out of it. I think it's important to follow the various traces of and trains of thought that occur to you as a part of your process. You know, if I could say the one thing I think a lot of artists that get into the fine art thing where they suffer is that they become like, say you do a scene, a type of painting, and somebody buys it right off the bat. You know, the natural thing you're going to think is like, ooh, well, that's sold. I better do some more of those. Which is natural. It's nice to make some dosh off your painting. And, you know, it might even be absolutely necessary, in which case you're kind of more of a commercial artist doing decorative art, just so you know. But I'm not an elitist, and I don't harp on definitions like fine art or non-fine art. These things are meant to be worn pretty lightly, so just go along with me. And my definition, just for what we're saying here, is pretty simple. You do the art that you feel like doing, and you're not doing it strictly for commercial purposes. That doesn't mean you don't sell your work. It just means that you follow a course of action that is really between you and the universe and your process. So, with that example, like I gave, say you painted one scene that had a boat in it, and someone walked in your studio or a friend saw it and bought it on the spot, and you're going, oh yeah, more scenes of boats, more scenes of boats. Next thing you know, all you're going to be painting is scenes of boats. Now, if you absolutely 100% fantastically enjoy painting boats, great. Keep doing it. But I think it's important to always acknowledge to yourself what you're doing and why you're doing it. For me, it's pretty easy for me because I'm always going for a certain emotional tone. I'm going for a certain feeling in the painting. The painting's really all about feeling to me. The scene itself is the sort of the vehicle that we use to, drive around the feelings. And you're looking for a direct expression, you know, and you don't want to have any impediments to that expression. So what kind of impediments could we have? We could have bad composition as number one. Painting as overworked, and so what was a nice certain breezy, graceful feeling became tight and constricted, right? There's so many subtleties, and I could enumerate them endlessly, and I'll be working on that, trust me. I'll be working on enumerating them, not endlessly. But anyway, getting back to why I would do something like the Umber series when actually, if you check out the live, some of the live videos in this series I talk about, I think the last one I did yesterday, uh, I don't really need more 5x7s in inventory. I have lots of 5x7s, and there's other sizes that might be more popular or who knows what, but I like 5x7s because they don't take up a lot of room, and it gives me a chance to express myself quickly and do, basically a full-on painting. And just because it's small doesn't mean it's not full-on. Um, and I just love creating something new, and I don't need to have it take up a lot of room in my life. But so there's a lot of reasons I like 5x7s, but suffice to say, it may not be the best thing for my inventory. Probably the best thing for my inventory is more big paintings, to be honest. But I've got to kind of gird my loins for that sort of thing, and and work up to it, and it'll definitely take 2 or 3 painting days instead of the 2 or 3 hours that a cute little umber painting will take. So I realize this, and I've got big paintings scheduled in my future. But for now, I've got this umber thing in going on. And this is another thing I wanted to point out in your practice. You know, what I've noticed is that you'll have periods where things come very easily that may not come easily at other times. I'm not saying to procrastinate and put off doing things while waiting for the perfect time, but what I am saying that if you're tied into the fine artness of it all and your intuitive process, if you feel like doing a certain type of painting, then do that kind of painting. And but keep your eye on the prize. Maybe you want to do things like make more large paintings and things like that. So work some of that in too. You know what I mean? But definitely not a good idea to have a success, say, with your little boat painting, and then you're the boat painter. And then 10 years later, you're thinking, well, I really wanted to paint, farms. I didn't really want to do boats, but I became a neo-commercial artist that sells in galleries and online. Basically, I do boat paintings because I can sell boat paintings. And you do the more boat paintings, for example, you'll do nothing wrong with them. But the more you'll be known as the boat painter, right? It's just something to think about. Anyway, that's a pretty good chunk of rambling. And you can expect me to keep justifying the Umber series because I'm just doing it because I want to do it. I don't even know. I have sold some Umber paintings, but if I really wanted to sell a lot more paintings, probably the blue ones tend to really strike a chord. Also the orange ones, But who knows how this year will unfold? It's starting off with umberness and a beautiful color like this green umber. And so this scene, by the way, if you haven't seen any of the other ones, it's based on an old photo from the 1900s, early 1900s. And all of the reference images in the Umber painting series are based on old photos that'll be either sepia toned or black and white, or some of them have this very interesting greenish sort of sepia. And I want to thank again the contributor to the channel, who's been one of our staunchest supporters, that sent me these 2 tubes of the Old Holland green umber. It's definitely got a place in my paint box, and when I use up those 2 tubes, you can bet on going and get me some more. Yeah. Anyway, let's pick up into our Carlson book here. This is John F. Carlson, Carlson's Guide to Landscape Painting. If you don't own it, go buy it. It's not. He's an amazing, great painter. It's one of these books that's full of black and white images, though. So, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that. That brings me down. I really don't like art books with black and white images in them. I want the color, baby, and I don't just want this flat, icky 70s, 80s book printing color. I want full bore, 2000s and forward color. Anyway, we're going to pick up kind of where we left off. We were talking about design. Last time we were on page 47, and it's a full page of text. Okay. Symmetry, static, varieties, dynamic is where we left off. Previous paragraph, and now he goes on to say, proportion is the soul of architecture and art. If we can view our decorative composition as a study in proportion, we will have gained somewhat. A thing becomes interesting when it is well proportioned, possibly because all finely proportioned things function better than misproportioned ones, and we are interested in things that function well. Reading on. Each individual must be guided by his own feeling or taste in this matter. Formulas might lead to deadly repetition. That's true, you can't just have formulaic compositions. That's one reason why I never will abandon photographic reference, because once you know the secret that you have to change things up, you're golden. You can just be inspired with the uniqueness of each composition that nature supplies you with, and then you can move it into areas that you know are successfully design-wise, but avoid the formulas. Yeah, back to what he was saying. Formulas do lead to deadly repetition, but mixed up with our feelings about anything, there is a certain proportion of reason. Reason never produced a work of art, but in all true works of art there is a certain amount of very sane reasoning, subconscious though it may be. I know that an artist could tell, were he questioned the instant he drew one line on a canvas, exactly why he put that line in a certain spot. There is, then, a reason for the placing of every line. There is no irresponsible or accidental child's play about the composing of a fine picture. And there ain't. It isn't magic, okay? Come on. Men like Leonardo, Michelangelo, or Rubens, wow, the second page, full blocks of text, not like your modern art books. But he, fortunately for us, John F. Carlson, writes extremely well. And that's why I'll keep marking a place, and we'll keep revisiting this design section. And we're in, let's face it, we're in the part of the video where most people have bailed, looking for tips, like what is the perfect medium to use, or what colors am I painting with? Which, oh, by the way, I should mention, lead white, green umber. I don't think I used any raw umber in this painting. Mars black. Pretty sure it's Mars black. It might be ivory black, to be honest. I can't remember. I think this was like the second one I did in the series, so I'm pretty sure it's ivory black, not Mars black. It occurs to me, Mars black, a lot of times I don't remember to use it until I start thinking, oh my god, I need some opacity. I'm floating around in transparent land. I need to land, you know? Anyway, back into Carlson. Let's get another little chunk read here, because it's going to take us a while to work through this section. We're going to do it, though, video by video. Michelangelo or Rubens were men of fine intellect as well as sensitivity. Pure beauty is an orderly quality which seldom emanates from imbeciles or charlatans. Is that imbeciles or imbeciles? I don't know. Let the student, when beginning a study, after he has been inspired to paint by some vision of beauty in nature, calmly decide, while he is setting his palette, just what it is that inspired him to paint the thing, and how can he or she make it evident upon canvas. In other words, establish the idea in her conscious mind and then compose for it. Reason out how to arrange the masses upon the canvas so as to help that idea rather than hinder it. I have often students say to me, quote, I really wanted to paint that mountain, but before I knew it, those trees took up the whole canvas, unquote. My advice would be, in such an instance, to begin a new sketch and conscientiously give the mountain its place and its preponderance in size and dignity, using the trees as a mere accessory, or making them smaller in mass. I guess we'll leave it there. I'm going to mark this so that we can come back to it. Great book, amazing book. Hey, check out my website. Tip on over there, Landscape Painter Co. NZ. Yeah, there's amazing paintings for sale there. What I recommend, though, I don't absolutely love the layout of the store itself. It's like painting. You just got to scroll. But what I recommend you try out is if something does sort of catch your eye, click on the image and then it isolates it. And that's what's great about real-life galleries. That's so easy to do. If somebody really needs to solve this problem, because it's very hard to replicate the actual gallery experience online. And what's really essential, since I know most of you are painters, you know, we're talking about, you know, this is some shop talk, eh? What's essential in the gallery, two things are super essential. How the spacing is of the art, of course the quality of the art, that's a given. But the lighting and the spacing. And you have to create an environment or space around things so that people can see they're somewhat special. And this isn't how I'm able to roll in my studio gallery. It's just too small. But even there, I have a nice layout, you know, whereas Squarespace really just hasn't done much for me that way. I'm hoping to solve that problem. It's just one of so many things on my list. But either way, the best way to help me out is to go buy a painting. I love that. And after that, oh, look, it's a puppy. Yay. Um, Donations are great. After that, you can join the members area. You have access to live fly on the wall videos. That's totally cool. And I love comments. Please leave me a comment. Tell me you love the puppy. Tell me you love the painting. Tell me you love me. And until I come back with another video, take good care and stay out of trouble.